Hi guys and welcome back to another Dots Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, round 11 of our Moto2 World Championship career mode, and it's time for the Kymiring. So Remy Gardner in pole position with Bezzecchi and Dixon on the front row, Schrotter, Lowe's and Benscheid on the second, Roberts, Vietti, Fernandez, Agura, Fernandez, D'Antonio, Arbolino, Grant, Bobier, Buliga, Luti, Ramirez, Canet, Navarro, Baldassari, Corsi, Cyrene, Arenas, Baltus, Manzi, Vieche, Dallaporta, Montella, Garso, and Somkiat Chantra at the back of this Kymiring Grand Prix. We look to the lights from 14th position. What can the man on the Petronas SRT Calix do? And away we go. The lights are now out. Power setting 3. No inhibitions, no fear. Just go for it. Well, that's all we can do here today. It's going to be a tough Grand Prix no matter what. I'm already prepared for the worst. There's a crash behind us. Joe Roberts dives with the inside. Beautifully done there from the Italtrans racer, as we now chuck it onto the right hand side for turn 4. A little bit of contact there with Joe Roberts, trying to push him wide a little bit, as that's Vietti who got up on the inside, and so did Raul Fernandez. But we do have power setting 3 to turn back on. We now go past Roberts, we now get through on Fernandez, so up into 7th place. Pretty good start, up by 50% of positions to where we started. Now hard on the brakes, going into the very difficult turn 5. There's Sam Lowe's, Bo Benscheid, Bezzecchi's gone down. Marco Bezzecchi has gone down. What a start for the Italian, and now he's just binned it here in this super difficult Kymiring Grand Prix. That is a shame. No podium finish for Marco Bezzecchi here today. That is disappointing for the Italian. Very, very disappointing, especially after missing out on the victory in Assen. He really wanted to bounce back here today and try and take a first victory of the season, as Bo Benscheid very aggressively dives with the inside into turn 10. Now onto the right hand side, beautifully done there from Raul Fernandez, and Joe Roberts went down. Briefly seeing his name on the left hand side of the screen there before it tumbled out of view. That's a damn shame as well for the American rider. Now onto the right hand side for turn 11. We did lose position to Raul Fernandez, but right now our focus is just stay within range of these guys. Agora's gone down. This is a crash fest here today. Too many riders going down already in this very, very difficult conditions in this sort of 8-lap sprint race here in the Finland GP. Now onto the left hand side for turn 13. Raul Fernandez ahead of us. Can we get back up on the inside of him at some point? Turn 14, it's not going to happen there, and I don't think it's going to happen here for turn 15 either. So now onto the right hand side, Bo Benscheid is out of this GP. Lord almighty, too many crashes. Another one down already, as we now inherit 6th place from the crashed and fallen Bo Benscheid. He'll be crestfallen with that one because he had the pace. Certainly looked quite racy to start this session off, or this race, let's say. So we're now going to the left-hander of turn 2. Track limit warning given to Grant there. I thought that was a bit harsh. Just barely touched the white line there, but I guess rules are rules. That's what you have to stick within the parameters of what the video game tells you. Now back into power setting 3. Let's try and get in behind Raul Fernandez and pick up some extra slipstream. We have a 3.5 tenths of a second to almost 4 tenths of a second behind to Celestino Vietti. So as long as we focus on the gap ahead of us, we should be okay. Now breaking into turn 5, a little bit too gentle. Raul Fernandez was a lot better on the brakes than we were. Just dropped it down back into setting 2 because power setting 3 is far too aggressive in some of these particular corners. Power setting 2 should steer us right for the time being. We went sideways there touching the rumble strip. We have to try and keep off those as we go straight back on the next one. Could we have a line on the inside to Raul Fernandez? Very, very close there. Hold a nice tight apex, get the power on. We might be able to get through on the Spaniard, and we certainly do. The man from Barcelona has been beaten temporarily, but he will be strong going on the brakes into turn 10. So now onto the right hand side we go. Current standings are Remy Gardner in the lead, Jake Dixon in second, Schrotter in third as Grant pushes Raul Fernandez out of the way. That was aggressive from two championship protagonists to another. As we go into the right hand side now for turn 11, Sam Lowe's in 4th place and Grant inherits 5th place from after shoving Raul Fernandez wide. Celestino Vietti and Arbolino finish the top 8, however, as we get onto the right hand side now, still continuing turn 12 allegedly. Now chugging on the left-hand side for turn 13. Fernandez gets up on the inside. Beautifully done there for the Red Bull KTM rider. Now can Grant fight back? He can't. Not quite there. That'd be a very difficult corner. Turn 14 and 15 are somewhat innocuous. As Sam Lowe's has gone down. Lord almighty, his bike was right in the middle of the track there. Goodness me. That could have been carnage for a lot of riders behind if that bike hadn't disappeared out of existence. But what a lap from Remy Gardner. A 1:57.295. We're not going to get anywhere near that one, let me tell you. A 1:58.061 was the best in our immediate future. As we now get on the left-hand side once again, but we are still in 5th place. Can't grumble at that, to be honest with you. 14th to 5th place as Celestino Vietti now dives up on the inside. Tony Arbolino's now gone down. It's literally blink and that's it, someone else has crashed. This is crazy. What a difficult session this is going to be. This is a sprint race, so I get it, everyone is sort of like just going for it because this is a very, very difficult circumstances. And a lot of people feel like they have a lot to offer here today. Unfortunately, we're not one of them. Celestino Vietti dives back up at the inside. Beautifully done there for the Italian as Grant now fights back. Beautifully done there for Grant, fighting back against Celestino Vietti, the Sky VR46 rider. That's exactly how Vietti's master would have done it. Exactly how it is done in MotoGP for the majority of it. Valentino Rossi, of course, being one of the instigators to that sort of technique. And, of course, many, many years before, the likes of Schwantz, Doohan and Rainey all would have been very similar to the sense of if someone gets ahead of you, you fight back immediately. And you slam the door shut back into there. But Celestino Vietti has gone down. As a matter of fact, he was going to take me out there. He was going to end up keeling me over. And there's Nicola Bulig. He's also gone down. Is there going to be anyone finishing this Grand Prix? Does anyone fancy a top 10 finish? It's on offer. Bezzecchi is now in 6th place, even though he crashed early on in the session. That's incredible pace for the Italian. Lorenzo Baldassarri in 7th place. And Hector Gartho is still in 8th. So that's a magnificent job for him. It's good to see Hector Gartho getting a bit of momentum with the HB Pons 40 team. He's now into 8th place. Remy Gardner still leading the way quite comfortably with teammate Jake Dixon in 2nd place. A great job for teammate Dixon on the Petronas SRT Kalex. As we now chuck it into the right-hand side for turn 15. Lap 3 will be completed in a moment's time. Then, of course, it'll be 50% or near enough 50% of this race complete. But we aren't getting anywhere near Remy Gardner, Dixon, Schrotter or Fernandez. For the time being, the best we can do is a 158.439. I do feel the 158s will be our benchmark, as Remy Gardner now chucked in a 156.906. This is just going to be unbelievable. We just have to stay cool, stay within this position. It's going to be a boring race for us, but 5th place will be a great finish for us, especially considering how much I've struggled this weekend. Such a difficult Grand Prix. It's my least favourite on the MotoGP circuit, so I will take a 5th place quite gladly. I'd snatch it straight off your hands before you could even offer it me, and let me tell you, well, breaking into turn 5, power setting 2, of course, not utilising power setting 3 in the corners as we ran it wide, completely ran it wide, never mind about the top 5, as Bezzecchi now gets ahead of Baldassarri, and Baldassarri gets ahead of me, so that's going to be that. Bezzecchi has a good look behind his shoulder to say, what the hell was he doing? Now, that is a big mistake from Grant. That is a massive mistake because now we're only a second behind Hector, or at least a second ahead of Hector Garso and Lorenzo Dalla Porta. Lorenzo Dalla Porta having a great ride so far. A good 9th place for him is a very, very positive result for the former Moto3 World Champion. Not quite adapted to Moto2 like we all assumed he would. But he's still competing nonetheless, still trying to chuck in those best lap times and just trying to compete during the races. That's all you can offer. That's all you can ask for. As we go into turn 11, we'll chuck it to the left-hand side now for turn 12. I'll tell you what, it's something I've not mentioned yet, which I do believe I was asked to mention during the season, and that is contract offers for MotoGP. Currently, as it stands, Sky VR46, Aprilia, Castrol Honda for the LCR team, Avincia Esponsorama Ducati, and even a created custom team for the Lenovo Ducati team. Now, I've been in contact with them all, but no one has actually got back to me just yet, as we go into turn 15, and now Hector Garza is getting very, very close there. That second advance we had to Garza was already gone, so brilliant stuff there for Garza, just absolutely nailing it. Look at Barry Baltus in 10th place. It used to be Barry Baltus at the back of the grid, but not right now. Barry Baltus into the top 10 positions. Brilliantly done there for Barry Baltus, BB, let's call him, double B. But I don't know if we're going to get a MotoGP ride, to be honest with you, because we need more reputation points. And a race like this in the Kymiring with 8th place, or it could be worse in a moment, it's going to be 9th place as Lorenzo Dalla Porta brings the speed on his Kalex. We might not be getting a MotoGP contract. We'll have to see what we can do. But a load of contracts in Moto2 will keep coming in. One for the NTS chassis and a couple from some of the bottom end of Moto2, which I was disappointed at. So we'll have to see whether we even get enough to get into MotoGP. I don't really want to do the custom teams. I really don't like the custom teams. I think they just look unrealistic. But we'll see. Who knows what's going to happen as we get massive contact there with Bo Benschneider. Bo Benschneider has just absolutely punted us there, and we're getting beaten up. Tony Arbolino ahead of us, and I do believe he crashed earlier on. There's Barry Baltus and Happy Siren behind us now. This is ridiculous. We're getting absolutely beaten up now as we chuck it up at the inside. A double B as though Arbolino now fights through. Lord almighty, this is getting hecked to a handbasket quicker than we anticipated. As now Barry Baltus, Happy Siren's going to get ahead of us. Jorge Navarro's going to get ahead of us. This is just going bad to worse. We went from 6th to 7th, 8th, 9th, now down to 15th. Disastrous race for us. I can't wait for this Grand Prix to be over. Oh, I really don't like the Kymiring, and it's really showing now. Probably would have done a bit better if it was a dry session, but my lack of experience with Moto2 in the wet is really showing, and it is suffering our championship a lot. We will not be leading the championship, let me tell you. Right now, as it stands, if we finish in 14th, Remy Gardner is your championship leader. That's how important this race is right now. This is really concerning. The mistakes are cropping up once again as we go wide into turn 15. Will Aaron Canet dive up at the inside? Oh, he's close. Oh, he certainly is. He's gone past already. So we are now in the last point scoring position in 15th place. This has been a disastrous Grand Prix. It really has. What can we do here? We just continue to fight, I guess, but with Nikola Bulaga only 0.2 of a second behind, you have to believe we might no longer be in the point-paying positions as this Grand Prix will come to a close. And there is Nikola Bulaga with the Federal Oil Grassini team. We'll try and avoid him as much as we can, but he's going to try and go around the outside, perhaps, not quite. Now we put it into power setting 3 and just absolutely go for it. At the very least, let's just take 1 point. Just take 1 point and move over to Austria with a little bit of sanity and a little bit of confidence, just anything to try and survive this Grand Prix. I mean, if we crash in this one, then forget it. We keep binning it in during tough weekends. We can't do that here again today. This is just a really difficult track, honestly. I said from the beginning that it is not a track that I like, and for some reason the AI is very tough on this one. It might be because of just my lack of an experience on this particular venue, but it's been a very difficult one for me here today, and I'm guessing you guys are probably wincing through this performance. It is certainly not one of my best as Nikola Bulaga now dives from the inside. Will Grant fight back? Not quite. There is Bulaga, Grant, side by side. Here they come into the sort of difficult right-hander. Bulaga now into 15th position into turn 11. There is now no points on offer for the Moto2 World Championship leader, but this will be the last time I'll say he's the championship leader, because there is no way on earth that Remy Gardner will not inherit the championship lead after Grant will take absolutely diddly squat when it comes to points. But we'll try and take 1 more point, but that really doesn't matter right now. Whether we take 1 point, 2 points, 3 points or 4 points, Remy Gardner is going to be sitting pretty at the top of this World Championship, and we need to fight back. I'm already looking towards Austria, Misano, other tracks that I really enjoy and I'm really good at. I do think that potentially maybe if I'd upgraded the bike we could do a little bit better here, but personally I just don't like this track and I don't do very well at it at all. And really, the whole weekend started negatively as I made that mistake in the practice session where I accidentally chose qualifying and I didn't pick practice. We were doomed from the start, really. The whole game was rigged from the start, to quote Benny from Fallout New Vegas, if anyone's ever played it. But we are going back into power setting 3. We might be able to get back ahead of the Italian ahead, the former Sky VR46 Kymi rider, as we picked up a lot of speed there, and we're going to absolutely charge down into turn 5 and hopefully just maintain this position of 15th place. It sounds so mad that we're fighting for one singular point as Bulaga's gone down. Goodness me. It seems to be that if we get a little bit out of shape on the brakes, then the guys behind us crash. I guess that's not a bad tactic to try and avoid anyone beating us. But we are up by 0.4 of a second, so it looks like we have got the hurry on just a little bit. Unless we're getting into some sort of rhythm, which, yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think we're just going to be very fortunate. I would like to set a decent lap time, because we haven't been into the 157s, and the lap times that Remy Gardner have been putting in are a 156, 130. So, you know what? I think I should probably go to time trial at some point and just chuck in a couple of laps here in this very difficult track. It's a beautifully looking track as I just cut the corner there. And I tell you what, I am surprised at that. That is only my second track limit warning in this particular Grand Prix. I anticipated there'd be a lot more by now, but it hasn't been the case. So I guess we can't complain too much, but we're actually on a decent lap time here. We are 0.9 of a second clear, now a second clear from our best lap time, which was set way earlier on. And we could be setting a decent lap, actually. Not enough to be challenging for anything particular, but we have closed down a little bit to Aaron Canet, but with only 1 more lap remaining as we cross the timing line, there really isn't anything to get excited about. But look at that ridiculous lap time that Marco Bezzecchi has just set there, a 1:55.839 for the Italian. Can't even see where he is right now as Marcos Ramirez closes right in us, the America Tenor Racer Honda. Or Kalex, sorry, I guess no more Hondas anymore. It's the Triumph engine, the 600cc Triumph Street Triple engines. We're going on to the right-hand side for turn 4. chuck it back into power standing 3. I'm sure we have enough oomph and enough power and enough fuel to last us just to the end of this back straight. But Marcos Ramirez fancies this one. This battle for the 15th position is not quite over yet. We still need to do everything we can to maintain that singular point, but you never know. Points make prizes. So towards the end of the season, maybe that one singular point could make all the difference. Who knows? That 1 point could separate us and Remy Gardner. Question mark. Who knows what's going to happen? But for the time being, let's go away with at least 1 point. Yes, it's going to be disappointing. Yes, it's going to be very, very abysmal for the track record. But at least we come away with something. An experience. We did come away with experience too. But we aren't going to get anywhere near close to the guys ahead of us. Still on a decent lap time, to be fair to us. We are still roughly in the 156s, but it's a high 156 compared to Marco Bezzecchi's 155 high, which we won't get anywhere near to. But taking a look into the graphic in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, as I just cut the corner there once again. Same mistake as the previous lap time on the penultimate lap. But it looks like only Remy Gardner has got a couple more corners to take, with Jake Dixon and Marcel Schrotter will be finishing both on the podium. Great stuff from them. They're probably one of the most underrated riders in Moto2. Marcel Schrotter finishing on the podium is a grand result. So we look over to the timing lines. It looks like Remy Gardner has won the Grand Prix here in Finland. Jake Dixon takes his first podium of the season and his first podium in Moto2. And Marcel Schrotter finishes up the top 3 in 3rd place. Grant finishes in a lowly, merely disappointing 15th place. So as I already mentioned, Remy Gardner wins with Dixon and Schrotter behind. Good job for Raul Fernandez and Marco Bezzecchi. Sure, Marco Bezzecchi crashed earlier on, so to still finish in 5th place, that is ridiculous. So taking a look at the championship, and oh my goodness, we still lead the championship. I was totally incorrect. That 1 point has separated us only by 3 points now, so otherwise that would have been a 2-point championship lead. But Remy Gardner is just trailing by merely 3 points. Raul Fernandez by 14 points and Sam Lowes by 26. So moving on to the team championship, the balance of power, if you will. Red Bull, KTM, IO still sitting pretty at the top, and with an additional 25 points and extra more from Raul Fernandez, they're going to be loving life at the top of this championship standings. But guys, that is it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment and subscribe if you did. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dot Race upload. And upon that note guys, thank you for watching, and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now, with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dot Race video.